Recording live from the Northeast Georgia Business RadioX studio. This is Northeast Georgia Business Radio presented by Regions Bank. Embrace the FN life. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back to another exciting edition of Northeast Georgia Business Radio. I'm your host, Tom Sheldon, and we are coming to you live from the beautiful Empower College and Career Center of Jackson County. A big thank you to Regions Bank for coming on board. They love the good work we're doing, and, well, we're trying really hard. But with me today, someone who has a very, I'd say a rather important, I guess you can call it a job. He really enjoys this. I don't really know if it's a job or not, but from the Athens Area Community Foundation, the AACF, I have with me Destin Newfont. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the Northeast Studio.
I appreciate it, Tom. It's great to be here. I feel empowered just stepping in the doors here.
It's infectious, man.
It is. It really is.
Did I get everything in right? Did I get all the names in?
I think you did. Yeah, I think you nailed the acronym too, and that's always
I
the
love
first step.
AACF.
Yeah,
it sounds cool.
It is cool. It is cool.
You don't run out of air saying it.
Mm-mm.
That's a good. Hey, us voice guys, So talk to me, man. First of all, I want to know about the man himself. You were sharing some stories on your road to Athens. You're somewhat of a well-traveled. You're still a young man. You're somewhat well-traveled, man. You've gotten it in. I love it.
I like to think so.
We want to hear the dirt, man.
Grew up in West North Carolina in the Asheville area. Beautiful place to grow up. Home of Luke Combs, Eric Church.
A beautiful part of the country out there.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
It is. Went out to school outside of Seattle. Wanted to go, see the West Coast, see what's going on out there. Went out there for 4 years to school at the University of Puget Sound. Decided I was ready to come back to the Southeast. So I had a brief summer in North Carolina and then went out and had a fun little adventure in Montana for a year, worked at a ski resort out there.
Wow.
Spent 3 summers up in Maine at a lake up there, and then found my way down to Charleston, South Carolina. Worked in the yachting industry for about a year. Just kind of woke up one day and realized that felt like I needed to have something that felt a little more meaningful, made an impact on community, and was extremely lucky and landed in the Athens area at the Athens Area Community Foundation with a wonderful staff, a wonderful group of people. I've been really lucky to be there for about a year now.
You start naming off these places, I'm thinking he likes cold weather. Maine, and wow, man.
What I learned quickly, especially out in Montana, is their winters are a little different than the mountains of North Carolina. But what I did like about Maine is you kind of get, in the summer, the perfect mix of it doesn't get sweltering hot like it does down here, but you still get the clear water in the lakes and all that good stuff. So it's a great place to spend the summer. I definitely will always feel that way.
Now, you went to school in Seattle.
4 years out there, got to experience the Pacific Northwest. Spent most days trying to find a Yeti, never did.
The real thing. Not the cooler.
No, that you got to come to the South.
Bigfoot.
That's
Bigfoot,
right.
folks.
That's right.
Bigfoot.
So
I believe in Bigfoot, but I'm weird.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's.
Well, we've never seen one, so therefore they could easily exist.
Exactly. I mean, you don't know that they don't. So.
Exactly. Sorry, way off the beaten path.
Yeah.
Folks, we're having fun here. AACF, Athens Area Community Foundation. You found a home here.
I did.
That's awesome.
I did.
The AACF does some amazing work in the Athens community, long and short of it.
Yeah, we certainly believe that, and we feel like we have a lot of examples of the ways that we've supported many parts of our Athens area community. We serve a 7-county region, Clark County and the surrounding counties, and we kind of pride ourselves on 3 things. 1, being trusted community leader. Number 2, being trusted partner for local nonprofits and organizations. Can look a lot of different ways. And then number 3, and primarily our role is to be a trusted guide for local philanthropy. All those folks in the Athens community that have a reason to give and have a want to give, we make sure that we make giving easy, fun, accessible, and truly impactful too. We know we really focus more than anything on what is the impact that those donations and gifts are having here in Athens and here in our community.
You somewhat direct traffic, I guess. Resources to the right place.
What we like to do is we think of it kind of as a matchmaker a little bit as donors come in, and many times these are people that have families that own businesses that have a lot of things going on in their life. In the Athens community, we recently found out we have a nonprofit directory on our website now that tells you every single nonprofit that exists here in Athens and the surrounding counties, and we learned that there's over 1,700 nonprofits in our region.
Wow.
If you're someone who has a family, owns a business, you don't have time to know what each of those 1,700 nonprofits do. That doesn't mean that you don't have a passion for the community. It doesn't mean you don't want to make an impact. What we'll often see is folks will come in and they'll be able to talk about things that they're interested in impacting in community. And then we're able to kind of run them through some of the organizations that are doing great work addressing those issues, and then kind of pair them up with donations and philanthropy that feel impactful to them and feel like, they're getting a lot out of it. And then also, obviously, the organizations that they're supporting are able to do, unbelievable work in our community with those donations.
These folks are finding you,
So-
and you lead them in the right direction.
That's
That's the easy way.
That's the easy way. If they come find us, that's the easy way. I think anybody who's familiar with marketing knows that that's not always how it goes.
Very seldom.
You got to put some work in to let people know what you do, because I think we're a big believer that once folks know what we do and the many ways that they can benefit, we can benefit, and our community can benefit with partnerships. I think we often find that the initial relationship, it often becomes much larger than that with our donors, with our nonprofit community, and all of our folks that we work with. So,
what does an average day look like for a donor services coordinator?
Yeah,
that is
that's right.
technically your title.
That's my title.
I bet you do a lot more than that.
Many people in the nonprofit world, many people in the small business world know that we've currently 4 people on staff. We're very excited. We're bringing a 5th person on this spring. Anyone who's in a small staff like that knows that you wear a lot of hats. Your days can look very different, in any given day of the week. What I get the privilege to do is spend a lot of time with our nonprofit community, learning about the great work being done, creating those relationships and how we can support them as well. And then also, getting a lot of time to spend time with our donors and figure out the best way that we can support them and their giving and steward that so that they feel great about where their dollars are going and the impact they're able to make. Every day is fun, it's inspiring, and you really get to see the best parts of this community. And, I think a lot of times these days it's hard to feel positive. It's hard to feel hopeful sometimes about, what's going on. And I think one of the real privileges of this job is you really get to see there is so many people that care so much about what's going on in this community. There's also a lot of people that are doing work to address those issues. And it's very hopeful, oftentimes life affirming. You get to hear the stories from the donors that these are generations in the making, these funds that they're opening. These are things that they truly are passionate about. We get to be there. We get to be present to hear those stories, get to the background, and then be able to match them up with gift giving that, makes them feel great. So it's a great job. And our goal is just to continue building what we have at the Community Foundation and making it something, our goal, this is a foundation that's going to be able to support this community in 100 years and 200 years, long past when all of us are walking the planet. It's kind of our view of it. Want to make an impact now. And we're very blessed. We've been able to give away over $24 million
Nice.
So we started about 15 years ago. We've given away $24 million to Athens community. We currently have about $22 million in assets. We've given away more than we hold. So we want to be making an impact now and then also, be continuing to grow to be able to sustain that long into the future.
I was about to ask you what some of the specific impacts.
Yeah.
Give me some examples. Well, to start with, boom, $24 million in 15 years.
That's right. And
That's awesome.
20 million of that has come in the last 7 years. Kind of ramped that up. Just in the calendar year of 2023, I think we were close to $8 million out the door. We're continuing to be able to support these nonprofits. Our focus is really also to try to keep a lot of those dollars here in the Northeast Georgia community.
Amen to that, man.
We want to be supporting things that are helping our neighbors, that are making Northeast Georgia a better place for everybody. Our role as a community leader, that can look a lot of different ways. We have a lot of different projects that we focus on.
I got to hear about the projects.
Yeah. One of the things
you introduced it. Now I got to hear.
That's right. So we have our Ready, Set, Go training, which is a nonprofit board training. So one of the things that we see most often, especially these smaller nonprofits, one of the biggest hurdles they face is getting a board, and more importantly, an effective board, an engaged board. We offer trainings for our Ready training is for people that are anybody in the community that's interested in getting involved and kind of seeing what that might look like.
Now, is that a free service?
Those trainings are usually about $10 to $15, so not much.
Nominal fee.
And that covers the lunch, basically.
That's why I say you at least give them coffee, but you give them lunch. You
it's
eat
essentially
the fee.
free. So
literally.
Exactly. Those happen.
That's cool, man.
We do. So we have 2 of each of those trainings. One is in Athens and the other in Gwinnett. And so we have those throughout the spring. The set is those folks who are early on a board and want to figure out how to make an impact. And then Go is for board members, executive directors to kind of think about what do they want to get out of their boardroom experience and how can they work together to make sure that the nonprofit's going in the right direction.
That's a similar setup to the other.
Mm-hmm. That's one of our things that we offer. We offer just other nonprofit trainings, which just, can involve, our most recent one, I think, was on fundraising, which is everyone's always interested in that. But we just have sort of these classes where you can learn about ways to grow your nonprofit, ways to grow impact that we're able to provide. We've also, I heard one of your recent episodes, you had the Loganville Rotary.
I survived it, yes.
That's right. That's right. And they were talking about something that, has kind of made an impact on the Athens community as well, as this research about third grade reading levels. We have sponsored the Athens Wellbeing Project, started in 2020, which is a large data collection movement where we've really been able to, using surveys that we sent out to community members, to all parts of the community, really been able to kind of nail down what are the 5 big things that we need to address in the Athens community. What are things that if we solve them, our community looks a lot better than it does before they're solved. That way we are then able to even better guide local philanthropy. We can go sit down with the donor and say, these are the 5 areas that we found that are very important to make our community better. And Creature Comforts Brewing Company has a fund with us. They're extremely involved in the community and do a great job supporting community initiatives. What we were able to do is give them that stat about third grade reading levels and how important and crucial that is to.
It is mind-boggling.
It is.
You say crucial, and it is, but it's tried and true. That affects every community. It's not just one.
No, it's not.
It's not an anomaly.
It's not.
It's every time.
That's right, and it is. And so we're able to sit down and kind of talk with them about that. And so they have sponsored a pretty unbelievable program with Books for Keeps. They partner with a local nonprofit to directly attack third grade reading levels and make sure that every child in the Athens community is able to read on grade level. It's that time where they switch from learning to read to reading to learn. And if you miss that cut, then it sets you quite a bit behind. So
incarceration levels go up as these children become adults.
That's right.
Unemployment levels, poverty levels.
That's right.
Things we want to avoid as much as possible.
Exactly.
It goes back to that reading level at the third grade.
Exactly.
For those who didn't listen to the Loganville episode. Anyway, back to you. Sorry.
I think that's exactly right. And when they came to us and they were like, how do we make an impact? We have these funds, we have this community participation. How do we make an impact? And we were able to say, this is an organization that is directly trying to respond to that. That's trying to impact third grade reading levels. They're sending mentors into elementary school every week, twice a week. These mentors are reading with kids and getting them to grade level. And it's in the second year of a pilot program with Books for Keeps, but the results so far are pretty incredible. I think the students that they were working with, I think the amount that were on grade level reading ability went up by 900% just in 1 year.
Wow.
So pretty unbelievable numbers coming out of that program. And so that's just one example of us able to partner with businesses, partner with nonprofits, create some pretty impactful change and things that are going to make an impact long into the future.
Congratulations on all that, just being involved.
The credit goes to Creature Comforts for having that mindset. The credit goes to Books for Keeps for all they're doing. It's a lot of times it's really just a privilege for us to kind of be in that kind of connector role, kind of, being able to be a part of it and see the impact it's having and then be able to kind of share that out, increase the impact going forward.
What is next for AACF? What does the future behold? I think you mentioned over the next 100 years. Who knows what it's looks like in 100 years? Let's talk maybe 10, 20 years. I don't know.
We're a grant-making organization, which means that we send money to nonprofits. Right now, all of those funds that we're sending out are guided by either businesses that we work with, nonprofits, or the donors that we steward. All of those are restricted grant making, so they have the input from those donors. We really want to move into a time where we can have unrestricted dollars that we are making the decisions on. One of the things that we really pride ourselves on is knowing what the needs are in the community. And what we'd love to be able to have is an unrestricted grant making program where nonprofits can apply to us and we can say, we know that you are doing great work. Here's some financial support for the work you're doing. Another big project that we have coming up, a nonprofit this past summer, a great nonprofit that is government funded. That government funding was about 2 months behind. They had a summer camp that they needed to run and they couldn't pay their employees. They came to us. I think they literally, 2:00 in the morning, we got an email saying that they weren't going to make payroll. So we very quickly reached out to one of our donors and we just experimenting. We just get to do all these cool things. And so we were able to set up a recoverable loan for that organization. They had funding they needed to get them through the summer. And then, as soon as those dollars came in, they were able to give that money back to the donor, but, still able to run their summer camp and make an impact on those kids' lives. I think what we want to do moving forward is have a designated asset where those nonprofits are able to come to us and be like, we have this kind of stopgap funding that we need until we receive the government funds or the funds from donors that, are promised but have not arrived. We just want to make sure that it's never just a lack of funding in the interim that is stopping these programs from happening. So I think that's a big goal of ours as well moving forward, is to have that funding available to nonprofits.
So sometimes the grant process can be slow.
Yes.
Bumps in the road.
Anytime you're dealing with government, I think there's just a lot of
yeah.
procedures that are involved in that. And so inherently sometimes not going to be on time. And so we want to make sure that that's never stopping programs from happening.
Before we wrap this up, I know you work with partners, community partners, very similar like we do here at Northeast Georgia.
That's right.
Can we drop some names, man?
Yeah.
Give them some props because I know they deserve it.
Yeah, certainly here locally. We're here in Jackson County, and Jackson EMC does a phenomenal job with their giving and their giving back to community. They have the Jackson EMC Foundation, which has a fund with us here at the Athens Area Community Foundation. They just do an unbelievable job giving back to community. We love that we get to partner with them. Their CEO, Roy Stowe, is on our board and does a great job.
That's a really good group over there.
Mm-hmm. It is. They do a great job. And we get to work with all kinds of cool people. We have a lot of local banks who have funds with us and make an impact. And, of course, many families, many individuals and nonprofits as well that have funds with us. So we get to work with a lot of the best people here in community. And we're just really grateful for the impact that we can continue to have on this area.
It's always good to have partners.
That's right.
Always good to have partners.
It is.
Well, man, let's wrap this thing up. Is there a website?
There is a website. Whether or not you ever have a fund with us, we just love to talk about the work that's being done in our community. If you have an interest in getting involved in whatever that looks like, if you're thinking about maybe joining a board, if you're thinking about what organizations exist here, what are they addressing? We just love to have those kind of conversations. So there's no need to have any sort of commitment or anything like that. But if you want to just reach out to our website, AthensAreaCF.org. We have a lot of resources there for what's going on. There are our numbers on the website as well, so feel free to give us a call if you have any questions. Sharing all the great things that are going on in our community. So if there's
the training programs, the board member training, all that.
That's right.
They can get information. The listeners can get information on the website about
You
that.
can, yes. And
it's all one place.
It is.
Awesome.
You can sign up on our website for those trainings. We have, I think the first two in Athens are sold out, but we still have the same trainings in Gwinnett that have spaces available. We offer those annually, so if you didn't sign up in time this year, they'll be back around next year. So just keep an eye out for those. And we're always open to hearing what people think are the needs. So if we need more trainings, if we whatever that looks like, we want to be able to provide it. So if you have ideas on that, definitely let us know.
Awesome. You're on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn. Yeah,
we are, and we just started our Instagram too. So Athens Area.
Life will never be the same now.
That's right. Every once in a while you get to see my face go across there, so you definitely want to avoid the Instagram. We do have Facebook, we do have LinkedIn, we do have our new Instagram. There's many ways to find us.
Well, brother, if that's it, we'll wrap this thing up.
I love it. Well, I really appreciate having us on, Tom, and being able to talk about some of the work that we do. And I just hope that if anyone has any questions, that they do reach out to us. And we want to share all the great work being done by the nonprofits in our community, by the great donors in our community.
Well, brother, thank you for coming in. Thank you so much, and all the work you guys do out there.
I appreciate you, Tom.
We appreciate it. They're going to play my music, and then I got to see. There it is. Boom, I got to wrap up.
There we go.
Hey, folks, AthensAreaCF.org. That's the Athens Area Community Foundation, the AACF. Doing a lot of good stuff. Hey, I'm Tom Sheldon. We'll talk to you soon.
Life is full of ifs. But if you want to cash flow like a pro and get paid up to 2 days early, safeguard against surprises and supercharge your savings, Regions Life Banking makes it possible.
Regions Bank, embrace the if in life.
Regions Bank, member FDIC.